Welcome aboard the TallySCTalk podcast, gang. I'm Andrew Jupe, and it's a big day today. That's right. We have the head coach of your Battle Lines, Coach Joel DeCastri, in his fourth year as the head man. We're going to talk a little Star Wars today. We're going to talk a little Tottenham Hotspurs, and we might even talk about Tallahassee Soccer Club. Who knows? But appreciate you joining us in. Here we go. So, Coach, I like the trading cards. Do they have one for you yet, or have you been signing autographs? I'm sure they have those probably spread out at your press conferences that you've been.
It's funny you should mention that, Andrew, because, Chris popped those out on the field the other day, and, he was super excited about them, and he showed me, I think it was Zuri's and Bennett's, and I met that with, equal amounts of excitement. But then, there was an air of disappointment that I don't have myself my own trading card. It's just as long as it's not that one of me pointing at Bennett. So that's, I hope it's a little bit more of a sensible looking one.
We're coming out dangerous.
Rockets going off.
Sometimes the brightest stars shine for the shortest amount of time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They heard us all across Tallahassee after that one.
We got to bring home the W.
Oh yeah. We're going to destroy them.
Put them on the Heisman watch.
They're fine, man.
Big Ben Player of the Year.
We're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I played a little adult league goalie.
I felt like I scored in the World Cup, but I didn't even score. Controversy? Question mark?
Pure chaos.
Go crazy, it was insane.
Chris Petley, he was the defensive MVP of the 2019 season.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in my prime right now. Let's go.
All right, joined by the head man, Coach Joel DeCastri. Coach, big day today. Hello, gorgeous. How are we living?
Oh, here we go, Andrew. I knew I haven't seen you in such a long time, so I've got some coffee on the go, and I got a little message for you as we greet this morning. So straight at you. Good morning, gorgeous.
There you go. Coach, if it's okay with you, not to get off on the side as I feel like we're already derailed, I feel like that could be our thing. Every time we see, like if I see you in the grocery store, I assume you're a greens man. I see you in the greens section. I'll just say, hey, morning, gorgeous.
Big fan of broccoli, and I think anything else we're going to discuss about this maybe needs to be off air. Okay, Andrew?
Fair enough. You got it, Coach. All right, Coach. Well, I guess as we get ready for the season, it feels like the excitement is getting to that point. It's like the weird realm of, hey, here it comes, but we're not yet into it yet. And especially with this scenario for summer soccer, it's a little bit of strange time. But how are you feeling about things and the moment right now?
Well, I'm feeling super excited. You're 100% correct. This is definitely a bit of a chaotic time as we transition from the spring training program and we look forward and anticipate the arrival of some of our out-of-town players as well as our local players that are returning from schools. So, yes, it's a bit chaotic, but with it comes some excitement and obviously meeting new people, seeing our players meet new people, and then also seeing some familiar faces that we haven't seen for a few months. So never a dull moment, but always a fun one.
Absolutely, 100%. So, Coach, like you said, you referenced the spring training program, and there's a couple different levels now with the affiliations within the club. How's the development program? How's the spring? How's that, I guess, bigger picture, which ultimately a lot of people don't know this, or maybe they do, but is a huge backbone to what they see in the summer, or maybe when it's a little more high profile, that's what fuels the summer.
Yeah, and I think so from the get-go, when I was appointed and Chris and I got together, this was something that was super important to me, the development of soccer in the community, right, from the youth level. And so, we're into our fourth season of the spring training program. Alongside the youth program at ASG, which gave me the opportunity to blend the clubs together. And we've seen the MLS Next program come into Tallahassee, which has been huge for our community and even our region. And then the spring training program itself is really starting to bear fruit, right? Some of these younger guys who started have gone on to make first team appearances. They're transitioning from youth to adult. No better example of that is Braden Paul. But just generally speaking, it's going really well. And honestly, that is something that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of our staff and the two clubs for working together. And long may it continue, because I think there's still more to come. And I think I think we'll see some more players this year that have come through that program, and I think you'll see they're going to be even stronger and more exciting on the pitch.
Okay, absolutely. Always an encouragement, Coach. So I would say what's going to be different this year, but I feel like that's almost jumping the gun. Is there anything different this year, or what's your kind of feeling as far as, I know it's not necessarily a smooth book of 2025 to 2026, but what's 2026 looking like? What's your, I guess if you've got a preface or an intro to the chapter that is 2026, what would you lead in for us?
I think 2026 is going to be all about learning from some of our previous experiences throughout the last couple of seasons. Again, alluding to some of these youngsters as they continue to develop, some of the boys that went off to college and are now, 1 year of college soccer under their belt. And I think while things will obviously be different with some new faces, I think for the first time, we're also welcoming back a lot of players that have come from out of town, which shows to me that we created a really good culture last year and the years before, right? But I think the benefits to that are we're going to have some players that are going to come in, and while we're still going to be building relationships on and off the field, I think we can also look forward to a little bit more familiarity. So therefore, a little bit more hit the ground running. The principles are the same for me and the coaching staff. I expect us to hit the ground running, and running being very literally, running, determination and grit as we build into these players our principles of play and our style of play on the training pitch. We're certainly going to make sure that when we do make that first game against Mobile, that we're going to be ready to work.
100%. And Coach, that's a great lead in, because I actually have something that I want to bring up for you when you talk about the principles and you talk about everything involved in there. As if I can use my technological skills, we might see something. But if you want to talk about one, I guess this guy, and then two, this was almost an open source email that initially went out to the players, but then was kind of published to the, I guess, membership group. And I don't know if it's necessarily public, but I saw that there was some social media component of kind of the toolbox that was being talked about. I guess talk about that initiative, what's behind that here. I don't know if this is just something that hasn't been made public before, because this is the first that I'm seeing this in this kind of fashion. But just explain to me this process and the toolbox and everything involved with that email transmission that went out.
Yeah, so I think obviously our social media department did a really good job of summarizing the email. Not that the email that I actually sent out was too much more complicated, but yeah, the idea of this communication, it's happened every season. It goes out before the players arrive, just to sort of set the tone of the culture. What we kind of expect from the players, and a little insight into how we're going to play. It's always been, again, very important to me that it's about how the players behave on and off the pitch, for the sake of the kids within our community, our fans, and then obviously our ability to maintain our emotions and show good behaviors on the pitch itself, right? So not really a new thing that we're doing, more you're getting a little insight to it now as the fans. I appreciate that going out. I think it's excellent. I think it's a good idea of how to carry yourself within a football team. But I think there's some lessons for us all in our daily lives as well. So good information for the players, sets the tone, because they all do come in at different times. They all obviously have worked under different coaches. And I think the final piece to it is that ultimately the season is so short. So we really do need to make things clear and simple so that we can get that style of play as best we can. But as importantly, we can get these players feeling good about their environment, feeling confident, because confident players that feel good tend to be more coachable, tend to be better team units, and of course they're the ones that tend to win games, and we're under no illusions that we want to win as many games as we can this season.
Yeah, 100%. And as far as that, I guess not only the winning games, but with the adaptation that we have from the previous league and then just starting the league for clubs last year, what, if anything, has that been like for you all? Are there any new experiences that you've been enjoying, or what's been that process? Or is that just kind of semantics and we're going to go out there, we're going to play as hard as we can, all that good stuff?
I mean, always we're going to go out there and play as hard as we can. We show respect to whatever opponent we're playing, regardless of their level. They're out there to play a game of soccer, and we're going to give them a game of soccer. We always instill the fact that we're going to play till the final whistle. And if we're winning a game, losing a game, obviously tying, we're still going to show that same gritty mentality, regardless of the situation that we're in. Because I think that's a great reflection of us as a club and us as individual people as well, that we're going to try our best, right? So it's not really too different, different in our approach. I think some of the nice differences have been the travel has lightened a little bit. And what actually the result of that is that we get to spend more time on the training pitch. So again, my duty remains to develop players. And so getting to spend time with them on the training pitch, getting to spend more time with them off the pitch, and allowing them to spend more quality time with each other off the pitch has led to a more fun experience. Obviously, we've had a few more wins last year, but we're certainly, while we enjoy that, we're not taking that for granted and any of our opponents for granted. We're looking forward to meeting them, and we're looking forward to giving them a good game and trying to get the results that we want.
Gotcha. Is there anything tangible, Coach, that you're looking to accomplish outside of development? I know you're a big process person, you're a big development person. Is there anything tangible that you've kind of got on your check sheet?
Well, nothing. Development, as far as I'm concerned, if development's happening, then results are coming in, right? So yes, it's a development element, but if we're doing it well and the players are responding and showing that confidence that we're talking about, that's why we give them this information, to feel good, as I said, to get ready to work hard. We make the expectations very clear about acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. And the reality is, if you have any team in any industry, if it's able to sort of follow and row in the same direction, then it's going to win. So, this is all being done with development in mind, but it's also being done with trying to win our division. We've got some things we'd like to accomplish with Pensacola. We got the away victory last year, but they still owe us a little look at that plastic cup. And then also we are most definitely still a little bit upset about how our season ended last year. But I think it's really healthy to have that sort of little pit in your stomach, because it makes our coaching staff and our players and hopefully our fans even more hungry for success, because that's what we want. We want to win out, and we want to start competing on the national stage and keep growing this club.
Absolutely. And Coach, with those aspirations, a lot that goes into it, and that added element, to use that, almost that added drive, right? That sour taste that's in your mouth kind of as you transfer over for the ones, not only for you, but also for the leave over players. And Coach, I saw something on the internet, which is dangerous preface to kind of lead into, but seeing this,
I've got a feeling I know what you're going to pop up now, Andrew. I've got a feeling.
Yeah, okay. So seeing this, is there any sort of new, shall we say, magic that's coming into the situation for the 2026 season?
The only magic that springs to mind right now, Andrew, is I need to get my hands on a lightsaber. I mean, I've wanted one since I was a kid. So seeing that picture has just, awoken, 10-year-old Joel, and I need a lightsaber in my life. Listen, ironically, it was my wedding anniversary. My first thought to being a Jedi is the most important thing to me is my family. I miss them a lot. And so that when I first saw that picture, may the fourth be with me, I kind of actually my first thoughts went to my family, to my wife. I've got to be honest with you. And then second of all, it may give me a little tingle. I got plenty of abuse for it. Listen, I'm happy to be somewhat the leader of this group. I want the best for them. I'm going to try and equip them with all the tools. I keep trying to help our coaches along and mentor them. So it's inspirational for me every day. I look forward to the season coming up. I feel determined and I want what's best for our community, our fans, and for the boys that we're going to have this summer. So, it's game on.
There you go. I like that. Coach, if you were going to go, I know you're talking about the lightsaber, would you go blue or would you switch it up, go different color?
Oh, come on, Andrew. You really don't know me that well, Andrew. Come on. You should know this already. So I'm not even going to mention their name, but I am a Tottenham Hotspur fan. And we are blue because our rivals are red. And so I'm blue all day long.
Understood. And Coach, I don't know if you believe it, but I was going to get into that conversation. Do we want to dip into that pool a little bit? Or are we shutting those blinders here for the last couple weeks of your boys?
You're talking about the squad?
Yeah, I'm talking about the English squad that you made an allusion to there.
The Tottenham Hotspur?
Yeah.
Oof, Andrew, I mean, is this a therapy session all of a sudden? Because if it's a therapy session, I can talk. Listen, Roberto De Zerbi, I mean, he's a coach that's come in and he has not only implemented some really good principles of play, he's clearly gone on and practiced that a lot in training, spent some good time with the players. I mean, we're just playing so much better in the last few games, especially this past game. But again, I think it's watching him already and how he's talking about the players, how he's treating the players is an inspiration for me as a coach. And he's done it in such a short time, which is something that our coaching staff have to try and do. So I'm always taking lessons from the game. And Mr. De Zerbi is giving me a little mini lesson, as we speak, which can only be beneficial for Tallahassee Soccer Club. And then obviously my fingers are crossed that it continues and we get out of this relegation mire because going down to the championship would not be ideal. But I think before I bore you any more about Tottenham, it just felt great on Sunday to watch my club play football again. They have not played football for a long time. So watching how they played and how they approached the game on Sunday was a little bit emotional for me, if I'm being honest. It was just wicked to see. So long may it continue.
There you go. So while we're here, Coach, predictions. It's been 20 plus years. Is Arsenal going to bring it home this year?
No. I mean, my prediction is going to probably be incorrect, but I would never acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say sorry to my mum. My mum's a big fan of that team. And I love her to bits and I miss her and she's a massive fan and we had so many ding dongs in our household about this, but I'm never going to want them to win anything.
There you go. Still long ways to go until we get there, but I like that, Coach. So Coach, as we bring it back to Tallahassee, so we get the slate going here, we get some familiar foes, a little more Panhandle feel to it this season. I know you talked about as far as just in general having those regional, more localized games provides an opportunity for more of the stuff that you're about, right? As far as that off the field and or just a training element, since you only have so much time with these guys. Tell me about the feel of what the league is looking like this year.
Well, I mean, I continue, always happy to see AFC Mobile continue to come back into the league and stay here with us, right? Because of the relationship I know our two supporters groups have and just the history that goes on there. We've had 2 fun games against them last year. PSC, Tom is a friend of mine, and that's a really good organization that also supports us on the youth level. So I expect hard games from both of those clubs. Valdosta, new to the league, I only expect them to improve. And then, of course, Pensacola and Dean. Again, Dean, a friend of mine until we hit the pitch. And, I think they still set the standard. And we want to keep on getting closer and closer and really compete for that top spot. And then the new guys that have just come in, I've had a couple of conversations back and forth with them prior to them arriving back in the league. Professional, well run. So all in all, the league is in good shape, and I think everybody's ready to compete. Everybody's looking forward to competing, and again, all eyes for us are on May 16th and getting those 3 points and starting on the right foot.
There we go. I like it. So, Coach, I know you talked about some of the development elements a little bit before, as some of the younger players and some returning players. I know some have been announced, but for the ones that you can talk about are the ones that you do want to maybe highlight. I know some of the marketing team is very specific about when they want to roll these out, Coach, but seeing a couple, can you give us some names that we'll be enjoying once again this season?
We might have a little problem here, Andrew, because I'm not completely up to date on where our marketing department's at with their announcements.
Okay.
Social media, I'm not all over social media anymore. I've decided to take a little break from that. Just to set a good example for my kids as well. I think we've developed some good relationships with universities. So we're seeing some players from some familiar universities, and obviously we've got the MLS scout Matt Martin, who came to visit us last season as well. So me and him are in constant contact, and then we've got these relationships that we're building with players who talk to other players. So again, we're bringing in a crux of international players, international in terms of where they're from, and then stateswide. I mean, all across the US, West Coast, East Coast, even in the middle. So it's a hodgepodge. I mean, I think some players have already been announced. I mean, I'm going to go to my boys Zuri and Bennett. They're back. So happy to see them, complete product of our youth system again. And then some of the international boys. I mean, who has been announced, Andrew? Let me check that you're on it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to reverse engineer that, Coach. So to your point, Bennett and Zuri have, of course, been thrown into the mix. Let me throw a couple other names up there. Diego's out. That's been announced. Let's see. That's a video.
Well, while you're having a surf around there, because I don't think there's many more than that. I mean, Diego. I mean, he kind of plays how we stand for, right? So it's a no-brainer to bring Diego back in because he wants to win, wants to compete. He's an excellent teammate. He's got quality. He's good at everything. Don't get in the way of a ball that he strikes. So, having discussions with him about returning and his enthusiasm to return, I think makes the coaching staff feel good and feel trusted. And again, it's a cog in the bigger situation, the bigger wheel here that shows that we can sort of hit the ground running a little bit more with some players that we're already familiar with. So super excited to welcome back Diego as well. Bennett the same, industrious. Zuri the same, consistent. None of these guys like to lose. None of these guys like to be beaten. And that's where we're at. I mean, that's what we want.
Absolutely. And then we got Joe coming back.
Joe, I think, is actually in a plane as we speak. So he'll be arriving. He's had 1 year of soccer under his belt in England, another year. So, looking forward to seeing him, and he'll be with us in the summer. I mean, again, he fits into that mold. Joe asks lots of good questions and is a very coachable player. I'm looking to Joe to really step up and be a leader and deliver output on the field this year. He assists, goals from corners. I mean, I'm so envious of his 6'3", 6'4" frame. So I need some goals out of that man.
There you go. Absolutely. So we'll go through a couple more. There's your boy Bennett, like you talked about, Coach. Diego, who we talked about. We'll try to scroll through these. Oh, Eric coming back. We know we love our local keepers here at TSC.
Love Eric. Trained awesome all spring. Is up for it. He complements the team on and off the pitch. Shows up to everything. He's been around the MLS Next ID clinics with the kids. It's just a real credit to our club, and he's going to compete for the #1 spot.
There we go. And I think that's all that we have. There's been a couple public appearances, Coach, but nothing that's been put out on the social media. So I think we'll leave it at that. Cool trading cards.
Andrew, sorry.
No. We got to
saves me a job. I'm going to admit that.
There you go. So, Coach, I like the trading cards. Do they have one for you yet, or have you been signing autographs? I'm sure they have those probably spread out at your press conferences that you've been.
It's funny you should mention that, Andrew, because Chris popped those out on the field the other day, and he was super excited about them, and he showed me, I think it was Zuri's and Bennett's, and I met that with equal amounts of excitement, but then there was an air of disappointment that I don't have myself my own trading card. That's just as long as it's not that one of me pointing at Bennett. So that's I hope it's a little bit more of a sensible looking one.
Understood. Yeah, Coach. So as we go from the players to the staff, a lot of the returning personnel, and I know you all. Well, I don't want to say I know, but it seems like you all are close and work really well, and not only here at the club, but outside of that as well. You are all over the place. So just talk to me a little bit about the squad that we see here, 2026 staff going forward.
So I think we're obviously missing Super Cam on there. So I need to acknowledge Cam, our second goalkeeping coach. We don't do things in ones, we do them in twos in terms of our coaching style. Listen, I mean, again, professional, a credit to our community, little bit of international flavor with Agustin and I there. I don't have enough praise to say for these guys. The only thing, these guys work with me, and we work with each other year round. We're pushing each other. We're making sure we check in on each other as people. The younger guys are continuing to develop. Mason and Brian are doing a really good job within the youth setup. The only thing that I insist on with these guys, I'll listen to anything. We talk together. The only thing I insist on is that we continue to learn, we continue to push, we continue to get better, because that's our service to the youth, and it's our service to the first team this year. And these guys deserve to see some more success this year. So I'm happy to have them as part of the team. We work together brilliantly. We have a great time as well. The players really like them. They do a great job of building relationships in perhaps a way that sometimes I can't due to my middle age. Particularly, Mason and Brian do a really good job of that. So super happy. Looking forward to working with them. Nothing else I can say.
There you go. So, Coach, with this squad here that we see, and also going to include Super Cam into the mix, how many of today's current iteration of TSC would have the potential to be flirting with a starting spot in the 11 on a, let's say, just the 16th as we go just over a week now?
So, sorry, just to understand your question, out of the guys we kind of got here and now that have been within the spring training program, how many are vying for a spot in the roster?
No, I'm saying of the coaching staff and the training staff at their current age. Are there any that would flirt with potentially getting into the 11?
Oof. Well, listen, there's BMAC last week or 2 weeks ago on a Monday decided that he was going to jump in on an 11v11 game, and I've not seen BMAC move like that in close to sort of 6-7 years. So I was super impressed. So BMAC, maybe he's making a silent claim to get in on that squad. Mason, I was his assistant coach when we had Josh and I. Listen, the kid's a baller. And then, of course, Josh Bruno. I mean, who's going to tell him he can't play? So yeah, I mean, again, that's one of the beauty of all of us. We're, even me, we're young at heart. We like to jump in and play with these guys sometimes. We still like to feel like that we can connect with the players. So yeah, we fancy ourselves on the pitch with any one of these boys, whether the reality is that we can't hang with them for more than 10 minutes or not. At least there, I'll speak for myself.
There you go. There's something magical about that rolling substitution coach when you don't have the restrictions within the club of only one in, one out type of situation. If you can get in there for 10 minutes, that's a different story.
Yeah, well, and also, I don't like to sort of pull the leadership card too often, but if I am jumping in a training, they're not allowed to tackle me. Again, that makes it kind of easier.
It's like, do you if you're familiar with American football much, how the quarterback has the red jersey?
Yeah.
One of those on? Okay.
Good shout. I think just to double clarify this year, I might wear the red jersey, especially if some of these players are around, because by judging of some of the ways they like to tackle, I do need to be out the way.
Absolutely. So, Coach, I guess for you, on a more personal standpoint, going into the season, it takes a lot. And that I don't think anybody that's familiar with the club, that's not lost on them. What is a driving force for you, or what's a passion taking you into this season?
So I think before I answer that, for me personally, I think I owe we owe everybody a huge thank you in all of this preparation process, right? The board members, I mean, Heather Redfield coming on board with us has been awesome. Just everybody just does work all the time. Like Casey, you just cannot say thank you enough and underestimate all of the little bits of pieces that these guys and we have to do in order to get this summer season up and running. And that's before we've even started. So massive thank you. Chris has to do a lot, just so much prep. And then also the coaches, Andrew, I know you do a lot. And we're doing this as a club that, is basically kept alive by our community and our sponsorship. So everything is done on a tremendously tight budget, and it's done well and it's done professionally, and things could be better, and always we're looking to improve. But we do a good job, and we do a lot of things behind the scenes. So I think it's really important that we acknowledge that work that everyone puts in. And then for me personally, again, it's always about I want to win. I want to win, and I'd like to bring a championship to Tallahassee. That's your first thing that pops out of your mouth, the competitive spirit from me as a coach, as a person, as a player. I really want to bring victory to Tallahassee. I've brought victory to whatever I've done, so I need to bring it here, and I want to bring it here. But then once you sort of sit back again, yes, the winning is important. Yes, we want to bring a championship. But again, my service is to the community that I'm in my 10th year of being in, and that's Tallahassee. I have 5-year-olds that come up to me and pull on my shirt and say they're going to come and watch our games. 13-year-olds that are now at a level where they're watching our games and are aspiring to be like some of our players, and our players are doing a great job of mentoring and coaching them during the summer and giving our youngsters something to point at. And then obviously there's all of the players that we're impacting and how they take this experience and go on in their adult lives. And Jerry, I've tried my best to get him back, but he's gone on to pastures new and he's experiencing different things, but we're still in regular contact, and the memories he has here are going to last forever. So it's about the soccer, it's about the winning, but for me, it's about so much more. And that's what keeps me going, because it is a sacrifice for me. I used to spend all my summers in England, with my family, there in England. So it is a bit of a change, but this is what keeps me going. Is that long-winded?
I like to coach. Life is long-winded sometimes. A lot of times we don't get a snapshot, but always good to hear. Always good to hear. And definitely there's so much going on within the club and a great organization of people to work with. And I resonate with a lot of what you said. And that's one of the big reasons why, at least me personally, I keep coming back year after year for what it's worth. But Coach, that's all I got. I think you killed it, to be honest, in a good way. Anything else you'd like to add that maybe we didn't talk about or that you want to kind of put it up out there outside of one last question that I have for you? I want to open the floor, obviously do you the respect to give you an audience, so to speak, of anything that you'd like to address.
I think the last people to go to are the community and our fans. So we really want to get as many bums on seats. We want you to come out and cheer on the team. We want to entertain. We want to make it fun. We want you to bring your family out. We want you to be inspired. We want you to go afterwards to spend money at local businesses. We just want the summer. It's hot, but there ultimately isn't tons of things to do in Tallahassee. So, come and check out Tallahassee Soccer Club. Soccer's a great game, but the community of fans we have in the stands makes it even more fun. The noise is so cool. And you've got guarantees from me and the coaching staff on behalf of the players that, we're going to fight and we're going to play and we're going to make it a fun afternoon for you and your family. There you go.
And I'll end it with this, Coach. The question I promised is, if you bump into somebody, whether it's a neighbor or somebody who doesn't know about the team, where have you been? But if they don't know about it, how do you convince them? Or what's the one thing to get them down there to the Gene on Saturday or Wednesday or whenever we're kicking these games off as we get started on the 16th of May?
A sense of community and atmosphere, right? So the sense of community that we play for the community. So we are Tallahassee Soccer Club and we represent Tallahassee. And whether you're a soccer person or not, you're a Tallahassee person, and we would hope that you would cheer us on along with any other sport we've got going on. And then I think the atmosphere that sports, and in particular football, soccer, brings up, the more people there, it's an atmosphere of banter, it's an atmosphere of passion. It sometimes gets a little bit spicy. I've always been a big proponent of more singing. Like, it's an opportunity to come and spend a couple of hours doing something where you can just engross yourself in what's going on in the stadium, and then whatever you got going on after that, whether it be a tough situation or a good situation, you can go back to dealing with that for a couple of hours. Got your eyes on a pitch, supporting your community, and shouting, singing, dancing, do whatever you want. Just get out there and support the team.
There you go. Do whatever you want down at the TallySCtalk Stadium. Got you.
Within
that's what I'm taking from this conversation.
There are some boundaries here, but maybe you can put a disclaimer at the end of this video that's going to list all the things off. Just make it the reel go really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 times speed, rip through there.
Yeah, just make sure. And then I'm in the clear, just in case Chris now holds me to account over anything I've just said there.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely will do. Coach Scholl's not liable for anything conversed in this video. Boom.
I think the other thing we got to mention, I think they've got to stick you with an earpiece in with the YouTube channel, right? I mean, they go to the stadium, watch the game, and then get an earpiece in and listen to the wonderful commentary we got going on, because it's awesome. So let's make sure we don't leave that part. And I'm hoping we can take up those pitch side interviews again and maybe catch me and a player before the game, because that was kind of fun. So yeah, tune into YouTube as well. Just make sure you're in the stadium.
There you go. Both fronts. Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Well, it sounds like you want in, so we'll bring back those interviews. And then also, we're getting the delay down. So technology is getting better. So we've got it we're at about a 20-ish second delay right now. So for me, I feel like that's pretty good.
Okay, all right,
So,
that's awesome. And I mean, I know the international players, and including even my own family. You know, they appreciate the show because you make it fun, and then obviously you give a really good report of the game, and you know that ultimately these families are cheering their kids and they're cheering their kids on, and it's great, brilliant, major asset to our club.
yeah, appreciate it, Coach. Yeah, so I'm brushing up. I'm making a checklist for the season, Coach. I always need to touch up on my Spanish. I know that. What are some other languages that I can maybe fire up the Duolingo of
So you're trying to backdoor the situation now to get more information on the roster. Okay, that's sneaky, man. Sneaky, Andrew. Well, I mean, Spanish is still there, but obviously there's
Right.
different types of Spanish. So,
Mhm.
you know, you're going to have to make sure you get the dialect right.
Mhm.
And then I think there's maybe even a bit of Portuguese. There might be a new language here, a little bit of German. And then you've got to deal with the British Isles a little bit, which you may think is going to be English, but you know it's got a bit of a twang to it. So you know you're going to have to figure that one out as well.
There you go. All right.
That's all. I mean, that's plenty.
That's I can work with that, Coach. You got to start somewhere. We'll put that in. That's in my own personal toolbox. That's what I'm going for here, short term. All right, Coach.
That is sehr good.
What's that?
German. That's
Yeah, I
very
know.
good.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, I was looking for the translation. All right, there you go, Coach. So you got some yourself. All right. Well, Coach, that's all I got for you. I super appreciate the time. I know you're in the thick of it with all 7 jobs that you have, it feels like, with all the intertwinings of everything. So thank you so much for coming aboard with us, hyping up the season, and always a pleasure chopping it up with you.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Andrew, and I'll see you soon.
Whoa, that's right. Thanks for joining us in here for another TallySCtalk podcast. I don't know how you got through all that. Hey, but more power to you. If you're looking for more Tallahassee Soccer Club-based content, hey, make sure you can check out this video, or maybe even the socials below will get you to where you want to go. Come check us out.